Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is a new episode of the Right Info Podcast Show with your host, Antoine. Hoping everybody's enjoying their weekend so far on this Sunday, April 21st, 2024. And I just got through having a nice breakfast of scrambled eggs with cheese, French toast, and some sausage links from the neighborhood restaurant that I frequently go to every other week. And I just got to say, it's pretty good, you know. It's in the Hyde Park neighborhood, and you all should try it out. If you all very much should know what the place is, if you all live in Chicago's neighborhoods, most famous neighborhood of all. And I'm just sitting here relaxing right now, delivering a short podcast. It's not going to be too long. The podcast is more in the form of a question, and that question is happiness known as a discipline? Well, the title of it is Happiness is a Discipline. But the question is, how are you always so happy? Now, I get asked this often, like maybe 3 times a week, a day, or, whenever. Well, let's just say, oh well, dear reader, let me pull back the curtain and let you in on a little secret. It's not happy for us all the time. Well, not for me all the time. That's not just saying, realistic. I mean, there is happiness. There's some surprisement. And, if you're going through a good experience or something that's happening in your life, it'll make you happy, It'll just make you feel a certain way. But, like I say, I'm not happy all the time. That's just not, in a sense, realistic. But I do believe in experience. Happiness and joy more often than most. And that's, because I treat it like it's a discipline. Now, people are going to ask you, a discipline, for happiness? It kind of takes the fun right out of the situation, right? Maybe it just doesn't seem logical. Now, if I want to be in a strong, for example, I want to be a strong runner, I need to run more. If I want to be a good worker, I need to, work more hard to make myself better, or a cook. Or, being a cook, I would have to, do everything I can to make sure any food that I cook or bake or whatever tastes good, that would make me happy. Anything that you do better, but you want to do way more better, it'll make you happy. Now, you see where this is going, right? So if I want to be a happy person or a happier person, I just need to, treat it like a skill, a practice, more often, that sort of thing. Now, there are some natural times in our lives where we need to become more disciplined about our own happiness and stay in control of our morale. Many of us are educated, for the first time, or going for education for the very first time, trying to get a real feel, of what it's like, either whether to sit in the classroom or do online work, because this is the age of online work, People are rarely sitting in classrooms nowadays, and, it's just something pretty good, something that'll make you happy, for the first time while, managing our own families and trying to keep up with the constant updates and announcements. Now, because of that, taking care of our own sanity may fall towards the end of our never-ending list of never-before completed tasks. What that means is, ladies and gentlemen, is if you want to make yourself happy, do something that makes you happy. Like, go out to the movies, go to the park, hang out with friends, or if you're working on a work project and you want it to be better than what it already is, put all the effort and energy you can into that project, and after, you see the end results, it'll make you happy, it'll make you proud. So the question on whether happiness is a discipline, that's very interesting, because I really never thought of happiness being a discipline. It sounds more like a college course, But, who knows? It could be a college course, or somebody might do that. Create a college course on happiness and, what's the definition of happiness? What brings happiness? How do you keep from letting happiness fall into the wayside of going to something bad? Or when you're happy, is it good for temporary situations, or is it good for the long run? And, if something makes me happy, I'll be real glad. If I accomplish something, if I cook something real good, if I go somewhere that I like or do something that I enjoy, it'll make me happy. It depends on the situation or the action. So whatever actions that's being taken, it's got to be positive. Otherwise, anything negative is just more like bring you down, make you feel bad, and you won't see no results. It'll just keep you, depressed, and you have to work harder and harder to get to where you want to be to bring that joy into your life. Whether it's you, friends, family members, associates, whoever you're dealing with, they can bring happiness to you as well, or you to them, depending on what the situation is. I was just giving a little explanation of the discipline of happiness and how it affects me and how, it affects other people. And, just do whatever you have to do what you want to bring some kind of joy in your life, some kind of excitement. Otherwise, you'll be leading a very boring, long, miserable life. Well, I'm not saying that you would permanently, it takes time, whatever you want to do in life, whatever you're practicing, whatever you're trying to accomplish, it do take time. Time, effort, and determination. With those three in together, you have a pretty good idea of, what you've done and what you've accomplished. And at the end of the day, hey, you got this. I got this. Everything will be fine. And I've just made myself, enjoy myself, and it put a smile on my face for what I've accomplished and what I've achieved. So I'm gonna make this a short little podcast discussion. And it was a podcast, but it's a form of a question. So is happiness a discipline? That was the question, basically. That was the main title, but it was in the form of a question. So I'm gonna end this podcast on a positive note. Hope everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Yours truly have a birthday coming up pretty soon, so hope you all keep me in mind. It's around the beginning of May. I'm not going to give the exact date, so just keep listening to the podcast shows, the episodes on the Right Info podcast show. Just keep reading the Right Info. I'll be coming out with more blogs, more podcasts, and I am going to sit here and finish relaxing for the rest of the day before I start work later on today. You all take care of yourselves. This is the end of the Right Info podcast show with your host Antoine. You all take care. Love you all, and I will be back pretty soon. Bye-bye.